Hello everyone! Well, today we will having our new topic to discuss, but before that, let me introduce myself first. By the way, I'm Kantiano Lizami P from BPED 2 Set A. And now formally start our discussion, let me read first the title and the objectives for this module. Module 2, History of Computer, Basic Computing Periods. Objectives. At the end of the chapter, students must be able to first, gain familiarity of the different discoveries during the different periods. Second, learn different inventions and discoveries during electromechanical age that lead to the inventions of today's technology. And last, identify different technologies and their improvements during the different generations. So let's start. First, what is the definition of computer? Computer is a programmable machine. It means it can execute a program list of instructions and respond to new instructions that is given. It is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. It has the ability to store, retrieve, and process data. Computer is a machine that manipulates data according to a list in instructions or a program. It also any device which aids humans in performing various kinds of computations and calculations. There are three principal characteristics of computer. First, it responds to a specific set of instructions in a well-defined manner. Second, it can execute a pre-recorded list in instructions. And the last is, it can quickly store and retrieve large amounts of data. Next, we have the applications of ICT computers in our daily lives. There are 20 applications of ICT that we have to discuss today. The first application of ICT is the business. Almost every business uses computers nowadays. They can be employed to store and maintain accounts, personal records, manage projects, track inventory, create presentations, and reports. Today, the use of computer with internet connection in daily life has altered our habits, like listening to music on the computer, making money online, using internet banking, using social network sites, running an online business, taking online classes, etc. are the new kind of our habits. ICT makes a business more efficient, effective, and promptly respond to customers' needs. ICT can assist business activities including design, manufacturing, distribution, and sales and feedback. The second application of ICT is what we call education. Computers can be used to give learners audiovisual packages, interactive exercises, and remote learning including tutoring over the internet. They can be used to access educational information from internet sources or via e-books. The main impact of ICT in education can be seen in improving the capabilities of instructors, changing the educational structure, creating opportunities for greater and more comprehensive learning, enhancing educational quality, and improving teaching skills. The appearance of new technologies in our day-to-day has made it possible for the use of ICT in education to increase considerably in recent years. The third one is what we call the healthcare. Healthcare continues to be revolutionized by computers, as well as digitized medical information, making it easier to store and access patient data. Complex information can also be analyzed by software to aid discovery of diagnosis, as well as search for risk of diseases. Today, the technology is changing the landscape of the world and leading us towards a sophisticated technical world. The emerging role of ICT has created a huge impact on healthcare. It enhances the quality of care, increases the patient security and data protection, and reduces operating and administrative costs. Next, we have the retail and trade. Computers can be used to buy and sell products online. This enables sellers to reach a wider market with low overheads and buyers to compare prices, read reviews, and choose delivery preferences. ICT enhances productivity in the retail trade sector through enhanced product planning and management, as well as improved logistics, including boosting, routing, cross-docking distribution centers, and use of barcodes and radio frequency identification or RFID to track and redeploy shipments. The fifth application of ICT is what we call government. Various government departments use computers to improve the quality and efficiency of their services. Examples including city planning, law enforcement, traffic, and tourism. Computers can be used to store information, promote services, communicate internally and externally, as well as for routine administrative purposes. Use of ICT in the governance process provides access of information and services to the citizen and thus encourages the participation of citizens in the administrative process. It works as the key of good governance by offering an effective, efficient, accountable, and transparent administrative system. Next is marketing. Computers enable marketing campaigns to be more precise through the analysis and manipulation of data. They facilitate the creation of websites and promotional materials. They can be used to generate social media campaigns. They enable direct communication with customers through email or online chat. Some of the ICT-powered marketing channels are social media marketing, search engine marketing, content marketing, affiliate marketing, email marketing, and SMS marketing. ICT provides support to business clients by creating a network of agents that can cover the target territory and develop sales. It helps the companies in identifying the opportunities and implementing marketing communications via multiple media. Next is science. Scientists were one of the first groups to adopt computers as a work tool. In science, computers can be used for research, sharing information with other specialists both locally and internationally, as well as collecting, categorizing, analyzing, and storing data. ICT widens the range of material that can be used in teaching and learning. It include text, still and moving images, and sound, and increasing the variety of ways that the material can be used for whole class and individual learning. ICT can provide access to a huge range of resources that are high quality or relevant to scientific learning. The eighth application of ICT is publishing. Computers can be used to design pretty much any type of publication. This might include newsletters, marketing materials, fashion magazines, novels, or newspapers. Computers are used in publishing of both hard copy and e-books. They are also used to market publications and track sales. Using ICT facilitate in book production has great impact on various processes of publishing. With internet, printing on demand, and e-book are the main drivers of change from the way books are published, distributed, sold, and read. The book industry has benefited from the development of ICT in great measure. Next, we have arts and entertainment. Computers are now used in virtually every branch of the arts, as well as in the wider entertainment industry. Computers can be used to create drawings, graphic designs, and paintings. They can be used to edit, copy, send, and print photographs. ICT has been the source of entertainment and leisure, and it is being used in these situations such as communicating, games, media, streaming, and home leisure. Next is communication. Computers have made real-time communication over the internet easy thanks to software and video conferencing services such as Skype. Families can connect with audio and video, business can hold meetings between remote participants, and new organizations can interview people without the need for a film crew. ICT is used for communication. Nowadays, people are in touch with the help of ICT. Through chatting, email, voicemail, and social networking, people communicate with each other. It is the cheapest means of communication. ICT applications have been valuable resources in the medical field as well with other communications field. They support the efficient exchange of information between health professionals They enable transfer of patient records and can improve the quality of care provided by health professionals. Next is banking and finance. Most banking in advanced countries now takes place online. You can use computers to check your account balance, transfer money, or pay off credit cards. You can also use computer technology to access information on stock markets, trade stocks, and manage investments. ICT also made the banking industry more competitive than ever. ICT enables banks to offer better customer service through the spread and use of ATMs, internet banking, phone banking, 24/7 services, plus the ability to offer an expanded portfolio of products and services. Next is transport. Road vehicles, trains, planes, and boats are increasingly automated with computers being used to maintain safety and navigation systems, and increasingly to drive, fly, or steer. They can also highlight problems that required attention, such as low fuel levels, oil changes, or a failing mechanical part. Information and communication technologies have considerable importance for transport systems, as they provide access to provide information, planning tools, opportunities to share transport modes, to work at a distance, compare transport mode cost, make payment, improve safety and health, and to communicate travel patterns. Next is navigation. Navigation has become increasingly computerized, especially since computer technology has been combined with GPS technology. Navigation is necessary in ensuring that your website is accessible and usable. Good navigation will allow visitors to reach your site for longer, giving them confidence in where they are and what they can receive from your website. Navigation allows visitors to reach with ease. We have developed navigation system feasible for navigation within both outdoor or indoor environments. Next is working from home. Computers have made working from home and other forms of remote working increasingly common. Workers can access necessary data, communicate, and share information without commuting to a traditional office. Managers are able to monitor workers' productivity remotely. The use of ICT applications in home care is an expanding research area, with a variety of ICT tools used that could increase accessibility to home care. Using ICT can lead to people living with chronic illnesses gaining control of their illness that promote self-care. Next is military. Computers are used extensively by the military. They are used for training purposes. They are used for analyzing intelligence data. They are used to control smart technology such as guided missiles and drones, as well as for tracking incoming missiles and destroying them. Next is social and romance. Computers have opened up many ways of socializing that didn't previously exist. Social media enables people to chat in text or audio in real time across large distances, as well as exchange photographs, videos, and memes. Dating sites and apps help people to find romance. Online groups help people to connect with others who have similar interests. Blogs enable people to post a variety of views, updates, and experiences. Online forums enable discussion between people on specialist and general topics. To ensure lasting empowerment, social businesses work from within the community. As previously highlighted, ICT allows social entrepreneurs to continuously connect with the people they wish to empower in a direct and engaging way. Online channels are also incredibly powerful way to broadcast business messages. Although social media has many positive benefits, it has the potential to wreak havoc on a relationship. Some of the negative effects of social media on relationships include decreased time with a partner, missed connections, jealousy, conflict arising from disagreements or hurt feelings, and negative comparisons. Next is booking vacations. Computers can be used by travelers to study timetables, examine route options, and buy plane, train, or bus tickets. They can be used to explore and accommodation, whether traditional hotels or through newer services. That's a lot of traveling without leaving home, and it is a clear trend in the business and leisure travel industry. The rise of personal computers and lightweight portable computers, as well as the growing sophistication of automated telephone services, have allowed tens of thousands of individual travelers to gain access to the same information used by professional travel agents. Next is weather forecasting. The world's weather is complex and depends upon the multitude of factors that are constantly changing. It's possible for human beings to monitor and process all the information coming in from satellite and other technologies. The main use of ICT in weather forecasting is to collect data. The data being collected could be coming from very remote location that would be dangerous or expensive to travel there frequently. They would just set up their devices used for collecting the certain type of data and leave it there to take readings for as long as possible. The device is solar powered and it sends back the data to the compatible computer via radio waves. And lastly, the application of ICT is what we call the robotics. Robotics is an expanding area of technology which combines computers with science and engineering to produce machines that can either replace humans or do specific jobs that humans are unable to do. One of the first use of robotics was in manufacturing to build cars. ICT and robotics have become personal prestige for several higher education institutions. At ITs, robotics is developed earnestly. Indonesia has several robots that is acknowledged internationally, such as Ikero, a humanoid robot, flying robot, firefighter robot, and a robot with human-like kinetics ability. The more we rely on machines to carry out human functions, the more important security becomes in protecting these systems. Computer IT and cybersecurity professionals are our greatest defense for keeping robots safe to us and minimize security breaches. That's all for the application of ICT, and the next topic will be discussed by Ms. Lorcel Fernandez.
Good day, and now we'll tackle about the history of computer. Basic computing periods. Earliest computers' original calculations were computed by humans, whose job title was computers. These human computers were typically engaged in calculation of a mathematical expression. The calculation of this period were specialized and expensive, requiring years of training in mathematics. The first use of word computer was recorded in 1613, referring to a person who carried out calculations or computations, and the word continued to be used in that sense until the middle of the 20th century. Tally sticks. Tally stick was an ancient memory aid device to record and document numbers, quantities, or even messages. Abacus. Abacus is a mechanical device used to aid an individual in performing mathematical calculations. The abacus was invented in Babylonia in 2400 BC. The abacus in the form we are most familiar was first used in China in around 500 BC. It is used to perform basic arithmetic operations. Napier bones, invented by John Napier in 1640, allowed the operator to multiply, divide, and calculate square and cube roots by moving the rods around and placing them in specially constructed boards. Slide rule, invented by William Alfred in 1622, is based on Napier's ideas about logarithms, used primarily for multiplication, division, roots, logarithms, trigonometry, not normally used for addition or subtraction. Pascaline, invented by Blaise Pascal in 1642. It was its limitation to addition and subtraction, and it is too expensive. Steep Reckoner, invented by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz in 1672, the machine that can add, subtract, multiply, and divide automatically. Jacquard Loom. The Jacquard loom is a mechanical loom invented by Joseph Marie Jacquard in 1881. It is an automatic loom controlled by punch cards. Arithmometer, a mechanical calculator invented by Thomas D. Colmar in 1820. The first reliable, useful, and commercially successful calculating machine. The machine could perform the four basic mathematical functions. The first mass-produced calculating machine. Difference engine and analytical engine. It is an automatic mechanical calculator designed to tabulate polynomial functions, invented by Charles Babbage in 1822 and 1834. It is the first mechanical computer. First computer programmer. In 1840, Augusta Ada Byron suggests to Babbage that he use the binary system. She writes programs of analytical engine. Schutzian calculation engine, invented by Per George Schutz in 1843, based on Charles Babbage difference engine. The first printing calculator. Tabulating machine, invented by Hermann Hollerith in 1890 to assist in summarizing information and accounting. Harvard Mark I, also known as IBM or Automatic Sequence Controlled Calculator or ASC, invented by Howard H. Aiken in 1943, the first electromechanical computer. Z1, the first programmable computer, created by Konrad Zuse in Germany from 1936 to 1938. To program the Z1 required that the user insert punch tape into a punch tape reader, and all output was also generated through punch tape. Athena Software Computer or ABC. It was the first electronic digital computing device invented by Professor John Athanasoff and graduate student Clifford Berry at Iowa State University between 1939 and 1942. ENIAC. ENIAC stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. It was the first electronic general-purpose computer. Completed in 1946, developed by John Presper, Eckert, and John Mauchly. UNIVAC 1. The UNIVAC 1 is the Universal Automatic Computer 1 was the first commercial computer, designed by John Presper, Eckert, and John Mauchly. EDVAC. EDVAC stands for Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer, the first stored program computer, designed by von Neumann in 1952. It has a memory to hold both a stored program as well as data. The first portable computer. Osborne 1, or the first portable computer, released in 1981 by the Osborne Computer Corporation. The first computer company. The first computer company was the Electronic Controls Company, founded in 1949 by John Presper Eckert and John Mauchly. Basic computing periods or the ages. First is the pre-mechanical. The pre-mechanical age is the earliest age of information technology. It can be defined as the time between 3000 BC and 1450 AD. We are talking about a long time ago. When the humans first started communicating, they would try to use language or simple picture drawings known as the petroglyphs, which are usually carved in rock. Early alphabets were permanent storage. This is where the first books and libraries are developed. You probably heard of Egyptian scrolls, which were popular ways of writing down information to save. Some groups of people were actually binding paper together into book-like form. Also, during this period, where the first numbering systems around 180 was when the first 1 to 9 system was created by people from India. However, it wasn't until 875 AD or 775 years later that the number 0 was invented. And yes, now that the numbers were created, people wanted stuff to do with them. So they created calculators. A calculator was the very first sign of information processor. The popular model of the time was the abacus. Mechanical. The mechanical age is when we first start to see connections between our current technology and its ancestors. The mechanical age can be defined as the time between 1450 and 1840. A lot of new technologies are developed in this era as there is a large explosion in interest with this area. Technologies like the slide rule and analog computer used by multiplying and dividing were invented. Blaise Pascal invented the Pascal line, which was the very popular mechanical computer. Charles Babbage developed the difference engine, which tabulated polynomial equations using the method of finite differences. There were lots of different machines created during this era, and while we have not yet gotten to a machine that can do more than one type of calculation in one, like our modern day calculators, we are still learning about how all of our all-in-one machines started. Also, if we look at the size of the machines invented in this time compared to the power behind them, it seems to us absolutely ridiculous to understand why anybody would want to use them. But to people living in the time, all of these inventions were huge. Electromechanical. Now we are finally getting close to some technologies that resemble our modern day technology. The electromechanical age can be defined as time between 1840 and 1940. These are the beginnings of telecommunication. The telegraph was created in the early 1800s. Morse code was created by Samuel Morse in 1835. The telephone, or one of the most popular forms of communication ever, was created by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876. The first radio developed by Guglielmo Marconi in 1894. All of these were extremely crucial emerging technologies that led to big advances in information technology field. The first large-scale automatic digital computer in the United States was the Mark I created by Harvard University around 1940. This computer was 8 feet high, 50 feet long, 2 feet wide, and weighed of 5 tons or huge. It was programmed using punch cards. How does your PC match up with this hunk of metal? It was from huge machines like this that people began to look at this downsizing all the parts to make first of usable by businesses and eventually in your own home. Electronic. The electronic age is what we currently live in. It can be defined as the time between 1940 and right now. The ENIAC was the first high-speed digital computer capable of being programmed to solve a full range of computing problems. This computer was designed to be used by the U.S. Army of Artillery firing tables. This machine was even bigger than the Mark I, taking up to 680 square feet and weight of 30 tons. It mainly used vacuum tubes to do its calculations. There are 4 main sectors of digital computing. The first was the era of vacuum tubes and punch cards like the ENIAC and Mark I. Rotating magnetic drums were used for internal storage. The second generation replaced vacuum tubes with transistors. Punch cards were replaced in magnetic tape, and rotating magnetic drums were replaced by magnetic cores of internal storage. Also, during this time, high-level program languages were created, such as Fortran and COBOL. The third generation replaced transistors with integrated circuits. Magnetic tape was used throughout all computers, and magnetic core turned into metal oxide semiconductors. An actual operating system showed up around this time along. With the advanced program language BASIC, the fourth and the latest generation brought in CPUs, central processing units, which contain memory, logic, and control circuits, all on a single chip. The personal computer was developed, or Apple II, or the second. The graphical user interface, or the GUI, was developed. Generations of computer. There are 5 generations of computer. The first generation is from 1946 to 1958. The second generation is from 1959 to 1964. The third generation is from 1965 to 1970. Fourth generation is from 1971 to today. And the fifth generation is today to future. The first generation. The first computer used vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory and were often enormous, taking up entire rooms. They were very expensive to operate. In addition to using a great deal of electricity, generated a lot of heat, which has often caused malfunctions. First generation computers relied on machine language, the lowest level programming language understood by computers, to perform operations, and they could only solve one problem at a time. Input was based on punch cards and paper tapes, and output was displayed on printouts. Example is the ENIAC, EDSAC, UNIVAC 1, UNIVAC 2, and UNIVAC 1101. The second generation, this is the transistors, replaced vacuum tubes and U-shirts in the second generation of computers. One transistor replaced the equivalent of 40 vacuum tubes, allowing computers to become smaller, faster, cheaper, more energy efficient, and more reliable. Still generated a great deal of heat that can be damaged to the computer. Second generation computers moved from cryptic binary machine language to symbolic or assembly language, which allowed programmers to specify instructions in words. Second generation computers still relied on punch cards for input and printouts for output. These were also the first computers that stored their instructions in their memory, which moved from a magnetic drum to a magnetic core technology. Examples: the UNIVAC 3rd, RCA 501, the Philco Transact S2000, NCR 300 series, IBM 7030 Stretch, IBM 7070 or 7080, and 7090 series. The third generation. The development of integrated circuit was the hallmark of the third generation of computers. Transistors were miniaturized and placed on silicon chips called semiconductors, which drastically increased in speed and efficiency of computers. It could carry out instructions in billionths of a second, much smaller and cheaper compared to the second generation computers. The fourth generation. This is the microprocessor brought the fourth generation of computers. As thousands of integrated circuits were built into a single silicon chip, as these small computers became more powerful, they could be linked together to form networks, which eventually led to the development of the internet. Fourth generation computers also saw the development of the GUIs, the mouse, and the handheld devices. The fifth generation. Based on artificial intelligence, their AI, still in development, the use of parallel processing and superconductors is helping to make artificial intelligence a reality. The goal is to develop devices that respond to natural language input and are capable of learning and self-organization. There are some applications, such as voice recognition, and that are being used today.